Hi everybody, how are we? Well, I'm going to take this off while I'm doing the video. I wanted to talk to you about, first of all, if you haven't done it already, please subscribe down there, or like down there. Oh, there you go, my fat finger, look at that. Just subscribe to the little button down there, and if you want to be notified of when I do some more videos, which, as I said up before, I am trying to do each day, please click the little bell up the top in the little corner there, and you will get notified as to when I do a new video. Now, I'm in the car, so that's why it's a different look. See, so there you go. I've just been down the road to get some groceries and stuff like that, so I'll come back, and I thought, well, while I'm in the car, I'll do a video. So there you go. I've had a friend of mine. We share the same interest. We do diamond paintings. And she said to me, well, you seem to know a lot about how to do diamond paintings and stuff like that. She said, why don't you do a video on them and stuff like that? And I said, oh, okay then. She said, like, for example, she's having trouble at the moment with popping drills. So she said, why don't you do a video on that? And I thought, that's a good idea. I might do that. So that's what I'm going to do. So this is what this video is going to be about. It's going to be about the issue on trying to solve the issue of popping drills on your canvas with your diamond painting. Now, as all diamond painters know, there are two shapes of drills, which are the little beads that you get. There's the round, and then there's the square. Now, if you go round drills, you will not get any popping at all. For some reason, I don't know what it is, for some reason they don't pop, or if they do pop, and when I say pop, they come off the canvas, they come away from the sticky stuff and they drop off. So it's called popping. They can pop, but it's very, very rare that they will. You mainly get your popping when it is your square drill. Now, there is a few ways of doing it. One is you've got to line your drills up absolutely perfect when it comes to a square drill. If you go one by one across your canvas, I don't have a spare canvas to demonstrate it, but if you start on your left hand side on the bottom of your canvas, and you just go straight across, and you do all the colors on that first row straight across, you are not going to get any popping, because you've not put any pressure on the drill, or you've not gone over the area where the next drill has to go. You kept it all aligned, and then once you've done that one line, you repeat it with the next line up, and you keep going right across your canvas, and you slowly work your way up. That's one way of solving your popping issue. Another way of solving your issue with your popping drills is to do them in a checker form, which means you take 4 rows or 5 rows of a certain area, and you usually start it with your corner again, and you go 5 rows, and you go 20 drills across, and you what's the name that it's called? You checkerboard them. So you put like one on the corner, and then you miss a space, and then you put another one there, and you do the same thing, and you go along in a checkboard fashion. Now, if you do that, then when you go to fill them in, they will click into position. So they are holding each other in because they are clicking into place. So not only is your sticky canvas that you're putting them on, holding them on, but they're holding each other in because they've clicked into position. And when you're doing it, you should actually hear them click into position. That's another way of doing it, okay? Now, if you really want to make sure that they're not going to pop, there is another way of doing it, okay? Before you put any drills or anything like that down on your canvas, okay, you go out and you buy a roll of double-sided tape. It's got to be the clear tape. And what you do is you take off your wax paper or your clear paper that some of them come with. Most of them will come with wax paper. You take your wax paper off, and what you do is you coat the entire canvas in this double-sided tape. Okay, now if you want to be extra certain that this is going to hold, you go over it twice. So you put your first layer on and it should go in that direction. So you're going across your canvas, okay? And then what you do is you put your wax paper back over your canvas so it looks the same as it did before you took the wax paper off. And then what you do is you go over it with a roller, and you go over it for about 3 or 4 times until it is well and truly firmly down. And then you remove your wax paper again, and you go again with the double-sided tape, but you do it the other way. Okay, so instead of going that way across your canvas, you're going that way or that way across your canvas. Okay, now because it is clear, you should still be able to see the symbols and the numbers that you've got on the canvas, okay? Now, if you can see them still really clear, and then you put your wax paper back over the top, and you go over it with your roller. Now, if it is still really clear and you want to absolutely make sure that you are not going to have any popping at all, you can, if you want to, you can put a third layer of this double-sided tape. Okay, I wouldn't go any more than 2, but you can go 3 if you want to be daring and you've got very good eyesight. Okay, you can go 3. And then again, you take your wax paper off, and then you would go again that way across your canvas. Okay, and then you put your wax paper back and you go over it with your roller. Now what that is doing is it is giving you that extra bondage of hold for your drills. Okay, which means your drills are going to stick even more because they've got 1 or they've got 2 or they've got 3 extra layers of glue to stick upon. Now, if you have already done your canvas, okay, and you've done some to it, okay, and you've accidentally not realized that the wax paper has come off, and you've left it for a while, and you go back and you find out that your canvas, the sticky canvas, is now dry, so your drills aren't sticking to it. You can you go out and you get yourself some double-sided tape. Now, I know this is going to be a pain in the ass. I know it's going to be a pain in the ass because I've had to do it in the past myself, okay? But what you do is you get your little container and you go and you section off. You find out where the beads, where the drills are, where you've gone around before you get to the canvas that's no longer sticky. And you pick those drills off your canvas. Now you only need to do it for, say, 2 rows, maybe 3. Okay, 3 rows. And so that it is a dead set even, so it is straight. You don't have bits and pieces. It is utterly straight. So it is straight there and across, or wherever it is that you're doing it, okay? It is straight. And by doing that, it means that you can then get your double-sided tape and you can put it on and you can level it to where your drills are. And then once you put it down, you get your wax paper, you put your wax paper over it, and you roll it, okay, with your roller. And then I would recommend that you use 2 layers if your canvas is dry. And then you take the wax paper off and you get another layer and you go over it again with your double-sided tape, okay? Now, by doing that, you are creating a sticky canvas again for your next lot of drills to go upon. It's very confusing, I know, but it is. And that is how you solve the issue. Now, if you don't want to do that, and you've just got like little sections where your drills are popping off in little bits all over your canvas, okay, you can go and you can buy glue sticks. So then what you do is you get your glue stick. They've got little like a pasty type glue stick. They're white. So what you do is you get one of those and you get a pin. And I would recommend like a sewing needle that goes into your sewing machine. Get something like that with a little flat edge on the end of it. And what you do is when you come across a bead that has popped, when you come across a drill that's popped, you get your pin or your needle and you just scrape a minute amount of glue, and you just put it on your canvas where that bead's popped off, okay? And then what you do is you then get your drill and you then stick it really, really hard, really firm into the glue. Now it should stick, okay? Then what you do is you get a cloth, like a damp cloth, and you go over that so that you're wiping away the excess glue from around your drills. Then you get your wax paper. Always keep some wax paper from the area that you've done, okay? Always keep a bit. And then you place that over it, and then you roll the fuck out of it, okay? Well, I shouldn't say that, but you do. You roll it like you've never rolled before. And you roll and you roll and you roll and you roll and you roll. Even if you're rolling for 10 minutes, it really doesn't matter. And then you let that dry. And then that should stop it. That should stop it from popping again. Now, if you don't have any glue in a glue stick, okay, you can again go and get your double-sided tape, but it's very picky, because what you've got to do is you've got to cut a teensy-weensy little bit to be able to stick it in that teensy-weensy little gap, and then you put your drill over the top. And again, you got to push it right down real firm, and then you got to roll the shit out of it again, okay? Now, if you're going to do that, I would recommend that you remove about 5 of the drills that are next to that particular drill that's popped. And you get your tape and you cut it to size. And then even if you cut it a little bit less than to size, and then you just carefully stick it in there. And then you get the other drills that you've taken out, and you put them in between, and you put them in that spot so that they're, and then you, as I said, you firmly put them in, like you really put it down there. And then what you do is you get your wax paper and you roll the shit out of the bugger. That too. Now you don't have to wait for that to dry, and then you just keep doing that until you've got it all stuck down. Now, another way of doing it with your drills, okay, now it depends on how you want to seal your canvas as well once it's all been done. Now, will I go into that or won't I? Because that might be for another. No, that's going to be for another. No, we do it now. In the past, I have, for ones that have really popped, before I found all this out myself, okay, what I was doing was I was doing a section, and this is another way you can seal them with that so that they don't pop, okay. It takes a long time to do, but you can do it, okay. What you do is you get yourself some, you do your section. You would do, I would say, at least 5 rows. Because when you're doing your 5 rows, you're really not going to get much popping. It's only when you're getting right down and you're getting a lot of weight. You can Mod Podge over your drills, okay, and then if you're going to do it like that, okay, you get a wet cloth. After you've done a very light layer, you only do 1 layer of Mod Podge. Don't do any more. Just do one spread over the thing, and you don't go right to the edge, because otherwise you're going to dry your canvas up, so it won't be sticky. And then when you've just done about, if you're going to do 6 rows, you only cover about 4 rows with the Mod Podge, okay? You do it in 1 layer, and then you get a damp cloth and you go over the area that you've done it to. Make sure it's not too wet, because otherwise the moisture is going to get into the drills that you've not Mod Podged, okay? Now, what that's going to do is it's going to take 30% of the sparkle that you would normally have if you don't seal it. And what it will do is it will take 30% of that away, but you're wiping the glue off the top of the drill. Okay, so you're still going to get a bit of your sparkle, but it's not going to be a lot of sparkle, and you're sealing your drills together. So you've got less chance of them popping than if they weren't covered. Now, as I said, you've got to be careful with it, because if you put too much Mod Podge on, you're going to get lines when you go to reseal the next lot. It's also going to make it very difficult, so you'll have to make sure that you have made no mistakes in your canvas when you're putting the Mod Podge on. Now, you can unpick your drills with Mod Podge on. I've done it. But oh my God, it is a nightmare. You can be there for 8 or 9 hours just doing 7 little squares. It's really bad. You don't want to do it. Okay, you really don't want to do it. You can soften the drills. You can soften the glue with nail polish remover. Okay, and it won't damage your drills, but it will soften the glue of the Mod Podge, but it is a terrible process. I won't use Mod Podge. I don't like the stuff, for the pure and simple reason is it just takes everything away. I'll go into sealing your canvases and what I do when I seal mine, and I will also tell you how I do it, and I will also tell you what I use when it comes to the really big canvases. Now, when I say the really big canvases, I'm not talking... I've just put my phone in the steering wheel cover. Now, there you go, guys. That's another way of having it all there. Put it in the steering wheel cover of your car, and it just holds it perfectly. It's brilliant stuff. So I'm going to go, because I do the big canvases. Now, when I say the big canvases, I don't mean like 40 to 60 and all of that sort of thing. I'm talking about the 110 by 150. I do the big canvases, and the reason why I do the big canvases is because the bigger your canvas, the better quality and detail you're going to get in your canvas. If you get a little tiny one, your picture that the picture that you're doing is going to be blocky. You're going to see every little mist. It's going to look crap. Unless you're standing 20 feet away, then it's going to look wonderful. But if you're standing up close to it, like if you're standing like that far away from it, it's crap. I'm sorry, guys. Don't mean to offend, but it's crap. Okay? It is absolutely shit. And I'm not meaning this as a personal grudge against anybody or anything like that. It is absolutely shit. It really is. You will not appreciate it in the long run, and you are going to want to go out and you are going to want to rebuy the damn thing, and you are going to want to go bigger to get better quality and better detail. That's just how it is in the diamond painting world. Okay? So if you go big. Like, and I know they're going to take you a long time to do. I know they're going to take you a long time to do. Unless you're one of these diamond painters that can use the end part of the pen that holds 6 to 8 drills. If you are able to master those, it takes hardly any time at all to do them. But if you're like me and you're a one drill person, it's going to take you a very, very long time. It can take you up to a year to do one canvas. And not everybody wants to wait 1 year to do a canvas. But if you go above the 100 by 100, if you go above that, you could be looking at 1 year. Maybe longer. Just depends. As I said, if you've got the art of the big combination drill part at the back, if you got that down to art and you can just go bing, 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 and you've got it done in a matter of a month. Maybe 2 months at the most. But as I said, if you're like I am and you're only a one-person drill person, it's going to take you a long time. But you're going to get your quality. You're going to get your detail. and it is going to look lifelike. When they're blocky and there's no detail, they don't look lifelike. They just don't. And that's why a lot of people, when they're doing like portraits of people or family pets or something like that, that is when they go big. Now, the smallest one I would recommend would be 100 by 100. It's not that big, but it's not that small. And it's doable in, say, 5 or 6 months. Also depends how much time you put in. If you are one of those people that have got a whole day and a whole night, 7 days a week, where they can just sit down and do stuff because they're not doing anything, they're going to get through them a lot quicker. If you're a person who likes to do them in the evening because you've got work and you've got family and you sit down at night when the kids are in bed, and all of that sort of thing, it's going to take you longer because you've only got, say, 4 hours, maybe 5 hours, if that, where you can sit down and you can do them. So naturally, they're going to take you longer to do because you don't have those hours that somebody else would have. Now, for example, for myself, when I'm doing a tapestry, I can go anywhere from, say, 8 o'clock in the morning and not finish until 3 o'clock the next morning. I can go right through because what I do is I sit down and I start and I look at YouTube videos, like movies. I just go through YouTube movies on YouTube and I can go through about 12 movies, and that's in between me like getting up and, you know, walking around and stretching my neck and having a bit of a break and, you know, and doing some housework and all of that sort of thing and getting dinner and all of that sort of thing. You know, that's in between all of that. But I can go quite long by doing them. But again, by saying that, because I do the big ones, it can take me, now I did a great big one. I did a 120, and what was it? I did 120 that way by 160 that way. And I took 2 months off, and by the time from the time I started it to the time I actually finished it, it was 11 months. But remember, I took 2 months off. If I hadn't taken those 2 months off, it probably would have been like 9 months. And how I sealed it is going to be for another time, because I'll put my glasses back on, because I did mine a different way. That's better. I did mine a different way. I didn't use Mod Podge or anything like that, so I did mine a totally different way. But that's going to be for another video. So, as I say, guys, and also your rolling has got a lot to do with it as well. And I will, you can use pull tubes, you know, those things that you hang on to and you float with them. You can use those to help roll it all up at the end. You know, there's all sorts of different ways you can do it. Always try and roll your canvases up if you can, the bits that you've finished. If by chance you can get a surface that your whole canvas will cover without going over the edging. It doesn't overlap your surface, okay? And then that way you've got it flat. So you can work in bits and pieces. Do you know what I mean? So, and then it's not being folded up, it's not being rolled, it's not being creased, it's not anything. All right. If you do want to, you can overlap it. You can put a pull tube up in the center of it, and you can roll it down that way so that it is still flat and you're working on it. So you can do that as well. But as I said, your double-sided tape is your best friend when it comes to trying to make sure those drills are stuck down. Your drills also, sometimes they have been made bigger than the actual allotted spot on your canvas. So keep that in mind. So where you might have drills that are slightly bigger than just by a smidgen, okay, that's going to make a lot of difference, because if you're trying to ram that drill in that spot and it's way too big for that spot because the other drills have taken that spot, like taken overlaps, that is going, and you've made it so that you've got other drills beside them and around them, it's gonna pop. You won't put it in. It won't matter what you do. It will pop because you've not left the amount of room it needs to go in there for the glue to stiff it, to attach itself to the glue. Because it's just because the other drills, it's like a suction cup. It's like a plunger. Your water might go down the drain, but once you put that plunger there and you pushed it down and then you bring it back up again, it's going to bring the water that was down there and it's going to bring the water up. And it's like that with the drill. If your other drills around that little square section where that drill has to go in, if they are just slightly overlapping, and you won't see it because it's so minute, and they're just slightly overlapping that space, that drill will never go in, because the pressure of the other drills forcing it up are going to detach it from your glue. So you have to keep in mind the factors of your drills, the sizing of them, how you're placing them, and how much glue you've got on that canvas, as into gripping onto that drill and holding it in. So that's why some people don't even use the double-sided tape. They just go by the stickiness on the canvas, and usually that will be enough to hold your drills on your canvas. But if you definitely want to make sure that your drills will not pop, put 1, put 2, put 3 layers. I couldn't put 3 layers on my eyesight shit. I could not put 3 layers of double-sided tape on mine. I would never see the symbols and the numbers behind the tape. But I can go 1 layer, I could possibly go 2, but this is just me, okay? Because I've got bad eyesight. But if you've got excellent eyesight, you could go 3. And they will. Now, granted, it's going to like sink in, because you've got to remember it's like a cushion. So when you're putting the drills in, it's put them in firmly. Don't just stick it on and go, oh yeah, right, it's stuck. Get it and really push it in. Okay? And then that way it is going to stick. So just keep that in mind. So that's just my tip. If I come up with any other solutions as into how you can stop your drills from popping, I definitely will. And if you want to hear about any other thing, I will do other things on the diamond paintings. I'm going to go through how you can mount them on the wall. I'm going to go through how you can seal them, all the different types of drills that you can get, because there's more types out there now. I'm going to do all the different things, so hopefully this has helped you guys a little bit, and we'll go from there. So there you go. So have a great day or a great night. It's getting late here. It's getting like nearly like 4 p.m. over here, I think, now. So it's getting late. But as I said, look, have a great day or have a great night wherever you are. I hope this has helped you just a little bit. And stay tuned, because I might do another video tonight on, I don't know. With your drills in particular, the round drills are great. You've got to seal them anyway, because they leave a gap in your canvas, and it collects hair and dust and all that sort of thing. You get better coverage with your square. Okay, just putting that out there. You get a better photo, you get a better picture quality, and everything like that. And you don't have to worry about bits of hair sticking in between the drills like you do with round. Round are great too. I've used both. I prefer square, but everybody's different. So there you go. So with that, I am going to close the video off, and I'll upload it, and hopefully this has helped you guys out heaps. If there is something in particular you want to know about diamond painting, put a comment down below and let me know what you would like to hear next about diamond painting, and I will do my best to answer any questions and stuff like that you've got. So there you go. So with that, I'm heading off, because I'm going to go get something to eat and getting something to drink, and I'm going to get ready to settle in for the night. And I've also got Eggy over here. He's in his carrier. We've been down the road, as I said, and he's collected his fan-based club of admirers all over the shopping plaza. And so I'm going to go in, and I'm going to get settled in for the night. So there you go. So as I said, leave your comments down below. I hope this has helped. Please remember to subscribe and hit that notification bell. Catch you later, guys.